Okay, guys, welcome to our call number 2, how to create a powerful resume. I'm pretty excited about this topic. It's a hot topic, and I know, most of you are very interested in building a powerful resume. And yeah, let's get started. And what I want to say before I start, let's just jump in. So first, I want to mention a couple of words about job search. Before we start this call, we had very good discussion, very short chat with Saltanat and others about job search and success factors, how to successfully land a job, and unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, resume is not the only key factor in landing dream job. Yeah, there are some other factors, key factors, experience, of course, and skills. Factor number 1, 35%. By the way, it's just one of the research. I cannot guarantee it's like exact number, but it's some of the research I just found in a network, and yeah, but that makes sense. I mean, nothing new here, but it's good to reiterate that's important information. Network and personal brand, 22. Resume itself, 21. Yeah, you have to be lucky. Yeah, it's very important. As an energy coach, I always keep in mind and remind my client about luck, and luck is very well correlated to energy. How to be in positive energy. I know it's like quite a fluffy subject. Some people don't like it, but again, if you are optimistic, if you are positive, there is a better chance for luck. It's whole of kind of separate topic. Maybe one day I do like energy session in future. Personal quality, yeah, being hardworking, detail oriented, or being like a professional, a good speaker, great communication skills, soft skills, and hard skills. That's all matter. Yeah, that's our success factors. But you can see resume is a big deal. That's why we are basically talking about that. I know some of you probably know situations when people had terrible resumes, they still get good jobs. Yeah, networking, other stuff still is important. Okay, I'm gonna hand over to Arna. Arna, are you good to go?
Yeah. Okay. So, and the first question, yes, resume takes like a 21% of your success in your job search process. And the first question which we would like to ask, how long does it take a recruiter to review a resume? So what do you think? If you could, yeah.
Few seconds, maybe.
Yeah. Good.
A few seconds? Okay. So any other 1 minute? Yes, from Saltanat.
27 seconds.
27 seconds.
27.
Okay.
1 minute. Second.
Brilliant. And if we go to the next slide. So based on a huge research data, when a special eye tracking application was installed on recruiters' computers, it became obvious that recruiters spend in average 7-11 seconds. So they check the city in case if the relocation is needed, check the experience, roles, companies, key competencies. In Kazakhstan, speaking about Kazakhstan, since we have a more strict labor law regulations, our recruiter spends spends a little bit more time, but for international big companies, it's 7-11 seconds.
Okay. Yeah, maybe I can just comment that. I see Denis Solovyov is here. I remember when I worked together with Denis in Moscow, I first time come across with this situation because we did very aggressive hiring, and indeed I saw like this case when recruiters they really spent like few seconds reviewing the resume. Yeah.
Yes.
You want to go ahead?
And it's really skimming of the resume. I don't know what's happened with my voice.
Oh, maybe you can drink water.
Yeah, I did. So, and the next question, what does a recruiter do next? Guys, what do you think? So skim the resume, check the experience, key competencies, and what does they do, he or she, yes, do next?
Any guesses?
Any thoughts?
Shortlisting resumes.
Maybe do some summary of maybe they do some kind of short list and then send it to the hiring manager for review to understand if this person matches by functionality. Probably, don't know. This is my guess.
Mm-hmm. Sultana, they definitely do that, but they do it after.
Okay.
Then what they do is that they just send these automatic emails that when they say they are sorry to the ones who doesn't get in this short list. I think.
Okay. So they also do that, yeah. They send that sorry message, but usually they do it after when they send the list of the resume to the hiring manager. Yes, and after hiring manager screen, yes, they send that sorry message. Mm-hmm. Okay. So the next, what recruiter does, he goes to LinkedIn profile. So they check LinkedIn profile and see what is your experience. So what are your latest posts? Who do you follow? So the next step is LinkedIn profile. And there were a lot of questions about even photo. Do you need to include the photo? And later on, we will show you a slide in which countries photo is like required even, but in most of the countries, photo is not required. And when recruiter goes to LinkedIn profile, this is a good chance for them to see how do you look like. Also, in international companies, yes, in US especially, take into account that US, it's a country of immigrants. Sometimes recruiters check social media accounts as well. So be careful. So if your social media accounts like Facebook, Instagram is open and you post like not really very professional information over there, it's better to close those accounts. Okay, so Daulan, if we go to the next slide.
Yeah, I just want to comment that also, like even they go to LinkedIn profile, they also check what pages you liked, what comments you did, because everything is there.
Yeah, and later on, our next class will be on LinkedIn profile, and we'll talk about it in more details. The next question is, what percentage of resume actually makes the first round before it gets to the hiring manager's desk? Guys, your guess, your thoughts?
Hello, everyone. I guess it's from 1 to 5%. Just a rough guess.
Okay, yeah.
10, 20, Sultana thinks 10, 20.
15.
15, okay.
You want to move to the next slide?
Yes, if we move to the next slide, it's a little bit even more aggressive. So to the hiring manager's desk, only 4% of resume comes, and they review that. Again, in Kazakhstan, the percentage would be a little bit higher because of the more strict labor regulations, and the people can go to the court, yes, and sue the companies why they have been reviewed since they match the job requirements. But in all, in European and in US and in Canada, it's only 2 and 4%. And to get to that 2 and 4%, the first step is to have a powerful and great resume, which is matching all the requirements. And also the very first step is get through ATS system. Yes, applicant tracking system. So then if we go to the next slide. Mhm. So how many of you are aware? Yes, I guess you've heard about this ATS system. So when you apply online, yes, your resume is reviewed by this applicant tracking system. And most of the international companies are using that. In small companies, yes, recruiters do that manually, but there is a great role of the recruiter that they incorporate all the keywords and key competencies that they are looking for into that system. And when you upload your resume, that system analyzes and make their first screen. And only after that, recruiter review your resume. Also, in some of the companies, the ATS rank candidates higher if the keywords and key competencies are mentioned more than once. And here it's very important that resume should be formatted very properly. If we go to the next slide, we will talk a little bit about the details about even the file type. We highly recommend to have it in PDF and Microsoft Word. So never upload your resume in HTML type of file or the picture type. Also here, a smaller recommendation. If you apply online, it's better to upload in Microsoft Word format. If you send your resume to recruiter or to hiring manager or to someone who is going to refer you further to recruiter or hiring manager, it's better to attach your resume in PDF format, because we all know that we check our emails from mobile cell phones, and PDF format looks better. So the formatting is it's said here on this slide, all text and formatting is accurately preserved. If you apply online, it's better to do it in Word document, because in Recruiters Network, they say that it happens, rarely, but it happens that PDF format is not read correctly due to some glitches in the system, due to different reasons. Next slide. About fonts in your resume. So please always use the standard fonts. Fonts, Times New Romans, Arials is also the most reliable one, and don't use the fancy one. The fancy one you can use if in those resume which you know that you will send only by email in PDF format. But when you're uploading to online system, never do that. And next, about the design of resume. So resume should be really very simple. You can use simple borders, simple lines, and standard bullet items. No graphics, no charts, tables. We all know that in Word document, it's quite difficult to write, for example, the list of your competencies in table. And that's why people are using the table, But when this kind of resume goes through ATS system cannot read the information which is included into the table.
Yeah, I also wanted to mention that here that before we started this call, some of the guys, Saltanat and I think Anwar sent their resume, and I see some some design. By the way, they have very good resumes, but in terms of design, I see some background, some stuff, potentially might be not ATS friendly.
Right now, our main goal to ensure that our resume will get at least to recruiter's desktop, and we shouldn't take any risk. So resume should be really very simple in Word document with no graphics. Graphics you can include into your a resume which you know that you will send only by email. So only in this case. And if we go to the next slide again, about abbreviations and acronyms, again, in the resume, it's better to put the full name, even that Bachelor of Science. I know that very often we write BS, yes, or MS, yes, Master of Science. It's better to put like the full word, Bachelor of Science, and then in brackets, you can put the acronym. Next slide. Here just the slide for information, because sometimes we're receiving this question. So what is the difference between CV and resume? So in Kazakhstan, actually, they are like similar. Yes, we call all the resume as a CV and CV as a resume. If you are going to have an international experience and apply for US-based companies, then here CV, it means like a long type of the information. Yes, it's like a 4-7 pages. And usually if you apply for some educational positions, yes, where they do a lot of like science researchers. So in these cases, they request for CV, the detailed information. For all other jobs, they request resume. And here, a big recommendation that resume shouldn't be no more than 2 pages. Okay, and the next slide, I think about picture. Yes, on this slide, you can see the countries where picture photo is required, where don't required. Sometimes if requested, again, this information was taken from the recruiters network. So they're sharing this info. Our recommendation is not to include it, even in Kazakhstan. So if recruiter would like to see how you look like, they always can see from your LinkedIn profile. Because if you include your photo in your resume, there is a chance that it won't even pass the ATS system. So next slide, Dulya.
Yeah, I saw Azamat put his picture resume. So in Kazakhstan, what you're saying is not really required, yeah?
No. So what are the main components of resume? It's a contact and personal information. It's an introduction or the summary of your whole experience, your achievements, work experience plus volunteer experience, education or any related courses, certifications. Also, there is a line you can put about the recommendation and the resume design, which we will talk. And also at the end of today's masterclass, yes, Daulen will show how the ATS system also work. To the next slide. So what do we have at the top of our resume? And those guys who provided resume, actually, yes, they have the same format. It's your first and last name, your location, contact information, Gmail, links to your GitHub profile, to your blog or website, and LinkedIn link. So it's very straightforward, should be very simple without any graphics. So yeah. Next slide.
Okay. Yeah, just
about like
comment before we switch. Just comment if you apply for like IT disciplines, like if you're a software developer or something like this, it's good to have, instead of having your like let's say website or LinkedIn, instead of having like whole link, it's good to have an embedded link, so you can just push the button and go there.
Yes, yeah, it will be. Thank you, Dorian. No need to enter your full address, because you are not inviting recruiter or hiring manager to your home party. So just put it, your city. And also, if you live in small village, like a small town, it's better to put like the name of your nearest major city. And another recommendation is, if you are planning to relocate, yes, to the city, and you know for sure that like in 6 months you will be over there, you can already put that city in your resume. Or if you would like, yeah, some of the candidates are saying that no, I would like to be fully honest. So right now I'm not living in that city. You can put as a relocating to Denver, for example. Why it's needed to put your new city, and if you're applying to that city, even in case if it's a remote job, recruiters check the city due to the taxes implications, since if you're employing someone from different states or from different country. And also right now there is a tendency that a lot of companies are returning their employees to the office on a hybrid schedule. So it means like recruiter already thinks if that person needs some relocation. Again, next slide. About email address. Again, here the recommendation that the email address should be Gmail or your company email or your business. So the different domains, except of the, please don't try not to include the Hotmail, Yahoo, and Mail.ru accounts, because it can be viewed as not very old-fashioned and not very professional. And in my previous experience as a recruiter, it was quite amusing also to see that review a candidate who is applying to the leadership position, but with the name as a beauty princess or Kazakh prince. Yeah, so please be aware that your name even should be really very professional. We all understand maybe all those emails come from childhood, but yeah, you should keep in mind that even your email address should look and sound very professional.
How about Arna, how about igul@1977@gmail.com? Is it good?
It's also, so it's a tendency, especially yes, from Soviet Union, former Soviet Union republics, that there is a tendency that people put like the whole date of their birth, so no data privacy at all. Yeah. So. About links, this is what Daulen has already mentioned. When you're putting links to your GitHub profile or to your LinkedIn profile, don't put like the whole name of the link, just embed it into the title. So the top of your resume should look like this one, and even you can shorten the link to your LinkedIn profile. So your location, contact information, email address, and LinkedIn profile. So no more additional personal information is required here. No marriage status, no how many children you have. So no other information is needed. Okay, and then yes, Daulen will continue to talk about the summary and the other components of the resume.
Okay, yeah, let's go, let's continue. Thank you. Was a lot of good stuff there. So let's move to like a core business. First part of my part of this presentation, let's talk about headline and summary. But first of all, let's understand what we are talking about. This is like example, like first name, last name, and then it says cybersecurity analyst, risk management, and security operations. It's kind of headline, which help. It's not really mandatory. Most of resume, not many resume. Maybe half of them have, half of them don't have. It's kind of good to have in some cases, especially in this particular case. You see, this particular candidate is targeting several adjacent role, like security analyst, risk manager, or security operations. So that's why he's helping recruiters to kind of locate his resume with with ATS, or maybe like when she or he reviewing this resume. So it's a good idea to have headline. Yeah, so feel free to do it. I had the opportunity to had very brief review of resume shared in our Telegram channel. I'm not gonna name that. I had a feeling I don't really understand what people are targeting. to understand what role he or she is targeting. Of course, I can spend like more than 7 and 11 seconds and study a resume and kind of figure out what role she or he's targeting. But why should I spend more than 11 seconds if I, have other resumes, which is clearly describing I want an operation manager role, I want a project manager role, I want a something else, financial professional. Yes, that's why in order to be more clear with your goals, it's good to have headline or and clear summary. So you see an example of summary in this particular case, like, but we're gonna speak on my next slides about summary in more details. I will also look some examples. So in headline, if you decide to use headline, keep it really short and state your value as a candidate. So if you're operation manager, you say that in your headline, you're operation manager or project manager or finance professional. And summary is basically answering your questions. What do I want a hiring manager to know about me? What is compelling to them about my background and experience? What is unique about my skills, project experience, and and why I'm applying? Well, what is my motivation? And you guys can, by the way, this particular session is going to be recorded, but I cannot share this slides because these slides come from certain sources. And they give me rights to teach people, but they didn't give me rights to share the slides. So I'm going to record this session. We're going to record this session and make it open for everyone. If you want to come back, because it's what I'm now sharing is very good information. If most of you even don't have summary. Some of you do, but some of you don't. But if like headline is kind of 50-50, but summary is mandatory. That's why I'm providing the structure of summary, and you can use this like a structure, how to use this template, how to use in your summary. So I have like number of in this example, it says number of international experience and degree with experience A, B, C. And background also includes X, Y, Z, and skills includes languages is kind of not really mandatory in this case. It's for some roles, language is a big deal. But let's say you're applying in the United States, it is mandatory if you know like second like Spanish. That might be good time to include. Otherwise, there's no point. It's like English-speaking country, you're not going to impress people with your English. So experience in certain education, country in some countries. Yeah, that's one example. Yes, so another breakdown, like experience summary analysis, which is helping to, how to polish your summary and make it really shining and like useful in achieving your goals. You really should be very mindful when you build your summary. If you are like, for example, Saltanat mentioned she's targeting OMV company. If like you have, and what kind of needs this company has. So these 3 needs you should A, B, and C include in your summary. Next one, if you want to just to like highlight your experience, you should also highlight your experience expertise in this employer needs. Let's say project management or like scheduling or whatever. Yeah, and skills. Yeah, I mentioned that 3 top skills. And again, languages is kind of it depends on situation, but good to have languages. Or you have like if you are doing like applying for software developer or coding languages, that'd be a good idea to have. So let's go to see examples. Sorry, let me check comments. Okay. Yeah, no problem. So examples. So here is example: 2 years of international experience and MBA with experience in budgeting, forecasting, and investment analysis. You see, like 3 important needs of my potential employer. My background also includes creating strong business relationship, international marketing, communicating all level with large corporate environment. Skills: finance planning, building business case, ability to multitask. Languages: English, French, and German. It might be important in Europe, by the way. Europe is, I'm not just in Europe, they speak many languages. So like people speak, I'm not surprised. Most of the French people, they speak good Italian. And I'm not talking about English here. German people speak good French very often. French people speak German and other languages. Yeah. So it might be important in some environment. And like I said, United States Spanish might be good advantage for certain company and for a certain role. So this is like a good template to consider. Next one is also very good. And this is kind of very similar, but you can like use bullet point to highlight your skills, and that's good to have, like a good one. For some people, it's good to see bullets. I personally love to read this type of resume when I can see bullets. And I saw some of your resume you shared today. It's like a lot of text, just bunch of text, which is not good, guys. It's very difficult to read. Another example, like a summary for full stack developer, like myself, I'm now a full stack developer. Like you see, full stack with experience using front end, back end technology, Python, Node, JavaScript, and React, and 6 years as lead IT technician, strong collaborate, problem solving, innovative ideas, passion, learning. It's kind of subjective. Some people would like, some people may not really. Another data science example is more tech, because I do a lot of tech consulting now. Data analyst with experience in statistical analysis and machine learning. Like again, languages, skills. You see skills, and also background, project management, operation, strong skills, and client relationship. Okay. Another IT example, cyber, passionate security professional. It's like my message, who I am. Team player, 5 years experience in building a high functioning and technically diverse team as an army officer, mechanical engineer. It's a background. It's like a very junior level, but it's still very good summary. Okay, guys, we are done with summary. I'm now moving to the next session of resume. Do you have any questions or comments about headline and summary? Feel free to unmute yourself and ask, or put in chat box. Other than that, we're moving.
I have one point to say is that I usually hesitate to write something like I'm so passionate, like excited. I feel like I'm exaggerating a little bit. Is it normal to use such kind of very emotional, descriptions? I mean, like, I don't know if it's okay in the United States, but like in Austria, I think people are here like not that open, and I really feel shy to write something like that. But I don't know, like maybe you can tell me if it's okay to have that kind of statement or not.
It's a great question. Yeah, I felt kind of I came across with very different opinion on that. Some people said it's waste of like time to put I'm like a subjective statement, I'm hardworking. That's kind of like hard to judge, hard to measure that. And but I think my personal opinion, I'm okay with that. And also it depends on the role you're applying. If you're applying like role which require a lot of soft skills, for example, if you are applying for project manager role, you definitely should mention that. If you are energetic, and again, it's you should be really genuine. Nothing wrong to exaggerate, I mean to highlight, but you should really represent yourself. You cannot put, like I'm, like very communicative, and then you come to work, it would be like really very introverted person. You should really be yourself. Arne, what do you think?
Yes, this decision whether to put this kind of phrases into your summary or not, it depends on a job description which is posted. Look the job description. If in the job description, employee is asking that the candidate, and sometimes some of the employer put a lot of like a soft skills, then in this case, you can include this type of the sentences. If job description is like up to the point, only the technical skills, try to omit it. So always look how the job description is written. And even writing about the soft skills, you need to use like even word for word, which is written in the job description.
Okay.
Okay,
sense.
thank you.
Makes sense. Sounds good. Let's move on. We now moving to achievement and work experience plus volunteer experience, basically main section. And remember, we mentioned at the beginning, resumes, they're going to spend like few seconds reviewing, first of all, your city. Remember city, especially now, people are moving to in-person format mostly. City is important. And second part, recruiters are reviewing like experience, and let's tackle that. So I will start in IT is we normally often use like portfolio of project or technical project. It doesn't really apply for non-IT jobs, but nothing wrong to have in even in non-IT. If you don't have to do it in a special section like we have in IT, like technical projects. But in IT, it's a big deal. So you have like GitHub. And I don't know if you know what is GitHub. GitHub is a repository of completed projects. So it's very important. It's like your portfolio. So it's very important to have it. And again, it should be like working links. You can go ahead, and that's a big deal. It's basically half of interview. So recruiters, not recruiters, it's a hiring manager or other expert, they would go ahead and check your GitHub. But nothing wrong to have something like this if you are not in IT. If you did very good projects in your professional career, or maybe you have a website. So we're kind of moving to more about brand building and LinkedIn. But if you have already like established brand, you are professional, you have your website, or you have like completed project, nothing wrong to mention that in like your portfolio section. Yeah, that's kind of that's cool stuff. Well, let's focus on regular project experience. I saw your resumes before we start this meeting, this call, and I saw you guys are listing a lot of experience, a lot of jobs, but the rule of thumb is you should focus on last 2 jobs, last 2 experiences, So that should be really you putting your emphasis on, trying to, I'm not saying very detailed, but a little bit more details on last 2 roles. Other roles, you're supposed to be like even 1 line is okay for other roles. Like, who cares what you did 20 years ago? You can remove like jobs you did 20, 15 years ago, like very old jobs. They don't have to be present in your resume. And again, let's be honest, ageism is still there. If you put like a role you did in 1977, wow, that's gonna create like potential risk for ageism. Yeah, so other important things are measurable achievement. That we're gonna speak about that. Keywords, remember we talk about ATS. And we should really keep a resume short. And I saw your resumes, some of them are kind of in good shape. Some some of your resume is kind of long, the description are long, and in the United States is kind of already tradition, keep 1-page resume. It's a challenge to have 1-page resume. I want to just ask question to you guys, or maybe Arna, what do you think in Kazakhstan? Is it one-page resume or what's the standard?
Again, yes, the standard, it's better not more than 2 pages. Sometimes it's difficult to fit just in 1 page, but guys, try, yeah, to
Okay.
shorten it. And always remember that your resume is not your autobiography. Yes, resume is your marketing document to show potential employer that you match the request, like the posted position. So it's not a biography. That's why it should be really very short and pinpointed.
Yeah, a good point. I also want to just reiterate that resume is only should spark interest. And I remember we talk about the next steps. They're gonna check your LinkedIn. So recruiter is gonna. I already started talking about at the beginning when I worked with Dennis in Moscow. We had like 20 or 30 people, and I did. I watched. We did this exercise. We just take a bunch of resume and start looking together with our recruiters, and we check, like we said, the name, experience, and immediately computer screen was open, and a recruiter would be searching LinkedIn page and see this person, and we'll talk about next week about LinkedIn profile, and we see exactly all details what we need. Like we don't have to be very detailed in resume because we already have LinkedIn. They're gonna check it. Don't worry. They're gonna see how you look. They're gonna see, what post you like and so on. Yeah. Okay, move on. Let's see experience example. Yeah. Let's. And we thought we will try to keep it short. That's format is gonna be company name. And then we have professional experience, only 2 bullets. Location, very important, city, states, and dates. And I would be careful with these examples. We should really be careful with dates. Sometimes ETS are not really happy with this format of dates. Sometimes it's good to have like 0.8 2015, like, and 0.9 2017. Yeah, we'll talk about HAS a little bit later, but we should be careful with date format. Sometimes I think it's kind of questionable, this format. So we keep it short. As you can see, we keep it short. Yeah, you see, like coordinated, board, prepare, oversaw, established. And again, I'm going back to your resume you shared. Some of you used verb, some of you don't use your verb, some of you mix verb and nouns, which is not good. Keep like a verbs, coordinated, oversaw, established, influence. That's example of a resume. Let's see templates. Oops, sorry, I kind of. Let's see work experience templates here. And as I mentioned a few minutes ago, it should be a result-oriented or accomplished, focused resume. So let's see template. Have a title, company, location, and days, and then we put relevant accomplishment and results. And sorry guys, most of you don't really do this in your resume. You don't really do result-oriented resume. You see, in general practice, it don't have to be every time. You don't include duties, responsibility, salary, name, supervisor, address, unless required. Yeah, that's okay. But I see most of you, or maybe half of you, really not really describing result. I'm mostly describing your responsibility, your duties. Which is kind of okay, but I think result-oriented is what is now recommended. Let's see financial specialist example. Maybe Saltanat, it may resonate with Saltanat. So it says like 6 months period, drastically reduce inventory by 25%. Hired and trained 3 system analysts who invest in the informal successfully reduce major program development backing. Negotiated, trained. I'm not going to read everything. So you see savings recruits, all other stuff. You really need to bring results, what you achieved. And in this particular template, you see, this financial specialist is not talking about their duties, because hiring managers, he knows duty very well. She or he can figure out your duties based on your achievements. Yeah, that's a good example to provide achievement-based example. Let's see some more example. So bullet point examples. If you do bullet point, if you created new automated payment system, phrases recommended and implement new payment systems that increase efficiency and reduce overhead cost by 10%. You see, you can put just, I created new automated payment system, which is also very good achievement for people who understand this business. But putting that recommended and implemented new payment systems that increase efficiency and reduce overhead by 10% is a great example of achievement. So it's a whole scientific topic to write your experience. And I don't know if you guys come across with funny examples in social media when people like, you know, can really in fancy words describe work of driver or electrical technician. They use such a great description of such role. That's exactly what you're supposed to do with your work experience. Keep it fancy, keep it nice, and kind of result oriented and easy to read and really enjoyable. It should be enjoyable reading. So another example, you see, made drinks for Starbucks customer during the rush hours. You can like write, it's very boring job, by the way. It's kind of not boring, it's body description of this job. You can translate that. I mean, it's a hypothetical example. Increase Starbucks rush hour sales by 14% over 6 months using suggestions and upselling strategies. Sounds good, yeah? I want to be part of Starbucks then. Another example, created lessons plan. Instead of writing boring created lessons plan, you can put design and taught a year-long curriculum for English language arts for students in grades 7, 12. It's not boring, it's exciting, it's giving more shining picture of your responsibility, of your achievement. It's more detailed, by the way. You are still with the same line, kind of, but they're putting so much context. Created award-winning logo. Won an American Graphic Design Award for Mado Valley logo, featured in graphic design. USA design print issues seen by 100 design professionals. Wow. What's the big difference between first sentence and third sentence? Yeah, it's so compelling message. And again, like I said, verbs and you can, it depends on the role you're applying. If you're applying for like management role, you can like highlight what you did in terms of your management and leadership skills, research, as you can see here, research skills, communication and people skills. Detail-oriented, a lot of work needs detail-oriented skills. Distributed, generated, organized. And of course, technical skills, creative skills, finance and data skills. You guys can study it later on if you want. Before I move to the next session, any comments about this particular session related to experience? Any comment, feedback? Okay, moving then next session is education and training. It's also, you know, I saw in some of your resume, you're just starting your resume from education, which is not good practice because education is important, but normally it is not really on the top of your resume. Top of resume is your summary, your contact details, summary, and then experience, and then education. So I don't think I'm gonna just talk anything new here. So you should mention your degree, you should mention your school, and your like summary of your content you took in your school. Next session is next section, which is very important, might be sometimes extremely important. Your hobby, your volunteering, and certificates. And I know a lot of people who are volunteering in their life. They really pay attention to volunteering. If you're a volunteer, you're gonna watch other people who volunteer. That may resonate. Okay, certificate, hobby, that's also obvious. And let's spend one like couple words about reference. It's kind of more like classic reference. It used to be it's education industry like 20 years ago. It was like big deal. Now it's still in place. Sometimes ask a reference. You can ask someone to fill reference, as there is a template how to use it. But I want to mention that it's a lot of things now in LinkedIn. You can have your recommendation in LinkedIn and direct your potential employers to your LinkedIn. Okay, I mentioned about reference. Yeah, I want to share some more like some more hints. It's about resume builders. There are some if you know like never built your resume, or maybe your resume is not in good shape, there are so many. I just put some few examples of resume builders. You can go ahead and try them. You can create resume in very like in 5 minutes and use artificial intelligence power. Yeah, so you can okay, Dennis is have to leave. Okay, so you can use resume builders. You can after like I finish my presentation, I can play a little bit. I can show you how we use a resume builder. Okay, and yeah, before I like switch to more practical things, we can play with resumes. I want to mention also big deal like ChatGPT also helps a lot with cover letter, with resume. That's also we can also try to use it today. Okay, before we move to the, like more practical examples, any questions?
Julian, I will add, yes, a little bit. Since you already mentioned ChatGPT could be a great help. And one of the hints you can even do copy the job description and ask ChatGPT to write a resume based on that job description. And then later on, you can apply those phrases which is applicable to your experience and use it in your resume. So it's a lot of help how to reword and make it more like result oriented and using those words which employee used in their job description.
Okay, any questions before we like continue? Comment, questions? Okay, we're good. No questions. I'm gonna stop sharing for now. Okay. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna like try to first of all, would you like to review your resume now? I can stop recording. We can quickly review. Do you want to review your resume? Yes, please. Okay, I will stop recording then because it's kind of personal. I will just restart recording. So there are so many resources. Let's say you have no resume, and last night I just play with it. It's so easy to build your resume. But it asked me to upgrade. It's basically a paid service. So they are very well connected to artificial intelligence. If you and then last night I just playing with that. I was just put my, let's say I'm more now targeting in few months I want to target a product management role. if you just put like product management role, it automatically help you start building a resume. Like if you put title of role, it help you build the resume quickly. So I just like put something, let's say project. Oh, I'm sorry. I just it's asking for money, but first time you can do it for free. Now it's asking for money. So I put like product management. Let's see. Can you see my screen now? It's coming. So it's giving me some idea how I can put like experience. No, let's do not product. Let's do like finance. How finance?
Dublin, it's automatically updated on your resume on
Yeah,
the right.
I just want to show like how quickly
number.
it's advice. Accounting and finance, yeah. So, for instance, he is suggesting dynamic audit clerks, certified account with 5 years experience. I think it's good for summary. I can put this sentence.
Yeah.
This kind of a lot of help to build my resume in just few seconds. I can. It's putting like it helped me to build like summary, yeah. Also an experience, I can modify that, pre-written. Develop some stuff, unfortunately, I kind of, it's probably want some more money. So I can build my resume so quickly in 5-10 minutes. But only problem I have is probably not very ATS friendly because it has some design features. But as a starting point, it's a good starting point for building a resume. Okay, let me see some comments. Can you share some good examples of resume and CV? Oh, it's a good example. 1 second. I can show like template. You know what I may have now, like templates. Let me see.
Anwar, I have a question. Are you actively applying right now? Are you in active job search?
Can you see my screen now?
Yes, we can.
So it's kind of like a template for IT people I normally help with. It's like, you see, it's one page resume. Keep it like a very lean. You keep name, job title, like or summary, technical skills, and technical projects and experience. It's so lean, one page. Okay. I also I see more comments. Can you say sorry? Couldn't talk blind, but not actively. Okay. I also wanted to show how this ATS system work, but I kind of need some more time for that to find it. Just I'll pause my recording. So we see a product owner in some company here. It's some apply. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna copy this role. I don't need this information. Okay, I copy whatever I have. And then go my ChatGPT. Can you see my ChatGPT?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I need to refresh it. Okay. Please share. So I asked ChatGPT to share a cover letter, and it's giving me such a good idea. So dear Harry, an exciting to apply product more with my strong experience. It's a good starting point. I'm not gonna copy paste. If I apply for this role, I'm not gonna copy paste because it has some too much information. I maybe like remove some stuff and put my own achievement. Hypothetically, I know that like if you check in YouTube, you can like you can put your resume, and it may update this cover letter based on your resume. That's also possible. Okay, I can try, but I've noticed sometimes it works, sometimes it's not working, but I can try. Nothing wrong with that. 1 second. I will use my, okay, I'm going to use my software engineering resume. So I copied my software engineering resume and I send him. Please update with cover letter. Okay, let's see, based on my resume. Resume below. But sometimes it's working, but sometimes it's kind of stupid. We'll see. So what he does, as you can see, now it says, dear hiring manager, I am expressing my interest in this position. I am proficient, MERN stack, blah, blah, blah. It's basically highlighting my stuff. So it's not working very well in terms of like ChatGPT, at least version of which I have, is not smart enough to like to synchronize that role, what I shared with like this vacancy with my resume, but it still does good job, like developing cover letter based on our vacancy. It developed one version and based on my resume. But when I ask it to like update previous one based on my resume, it just developed new one based on my resume. Well, but it's still there. You can play with that, and you can come up easily with very good cover letter, but you don't have to be long. It should be like couple paragraph, no more. Okay, guys. I think we all have to leave. Thank you for your time. Any last question you have before we finish? Okay, thank you for your time then. It was a pleasure to talk to you guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much. Have a good day.
Bye.